Oh, got the sun coming in, huh? Is that in focus? I can track like my hand back to my eye. Fuck it. Hopefully it is. I'll check it in a minute. So this is everything, not like everything I own, but this is everything I would potentially bring on a trip. What's in my bag? Got an upcoming hiking trip to Switzerland for 10 days. And then after that, a hiking birding trip. Every trip's a birding and wildlife trip, if you know, or if you're looking for birds and wildlife. But after Switzerland, it's Newfoundland for 8 days, I think, in August, Switzerland, Newfoundland, September. So yeah, this is everything I'll potentially pack, bring. And the slant here is that it's all going to fit in this Think Tank backlight 36L Mindshift. The rub there is this Mindshift backlight Sprint is like my favorite hiking bag. It's the bag I use all the time when I'm going out and just shooting wildlife and birds. And even if I'm going like to a game, like shooting sports stuff, I love that bag. It can, fulfill all of my needs. This backlight 36L will fit all of the gear I'm bringing, not everything here, but a good amount. Editing, computer stuff, and toiletries, clothes, hiking stuff. And that's not me being cheap. That's more just like, what do you really need? Like, what do you really need? And I'll probably highlight some past mistakes I've done, although I have used this bag before. Just brought that bag, no suitcase, to 9 days in Scotland hiking, another 9 days in Switzerland hiking. So it's possible. It's not me being cheap. I was gonna do the suitcase and I was like, screw it. The less you have is kind of like the less you have to worry about, and it doesn't leave my side, it goes right above me. I'm gonna switch to a top-down view while I'm doing the pack because my FX3 is on here now. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I don't know, I just felt like doing this, so here we go. First things first, I just recently bought this travel tripod. I'm loving it. I love the video head for, again, wildlife birding stuff. It's just too heavy. And I'm ashamed to admit I brought this on my first trip to Switzerland, is the Ronin. I don't need this. I actually rarely use it, but when you need it, it's great to have. Yeah, ashamed to admit I brought this. Like, what was I gonna do? Hike mountains with this thing and like hold it out in front of me for smooth footage? However, a nice little tweak I've done, I gotta bring this in the middle, is I'll take the handle off this here, and this was another just little travel tripod that was sent to me with this lens. It was for free, so I was like, oh cool, a little travel tripod. This perfectly fits here, and then it becomes this awesome little, not like pure video head, but it is, because it's got the ball connection here. It's great. Next, we are going to need the rain cover. This one I'm unsure about, so this is the rain cover for this 150-600 Sigma. I'm gonna put that to the side as a maybe. Here you can see my old Canon T5i. Shout out to the Canon T5i people. Hi, I'm an FX3. My FX3 is currently filming this. Yeah, we're not doing that. There was one other trip I brought my FX3 and at the time A7 IV on, and it was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, these hybrid cameras now are just so good. So that goes without saying. I've since upgraded to the A7R5. That's gonna be everything. 4 terabyte hard drive, pro grade reader, film camera. This is heavy and that's space to take up. And if my focus is wildlife, birding, some landscape shots, some shots of us to remember, video stuff too, obviously, then this is just dead weight. The microphone right now that I'm using is a Rode Video Mic Pro Plus that's strapped to this FX3. And that's another one where you have to bring a charger, you do have to charge it. It's a great mic, I've had it for years and years and years. But again, for what I'm doing in the mountains, I'm just bringing this cheap little Polson, start holding these up. Cheap little Polson with a dead cat. I think this was like a $30 mic, maybe $25 mic. And that's all I need. It does capture stuff good enough. This is obviously super important. So you don't wanna go, anywhere where you're gonna need different outlets. This is a great one. Obviously goes into their outlets in Switzerland, most of Europe. The elephant in the room here, I flew my drone in Switzerland in 2020 when I went there. I brought it last trip in 2023 into Locks, up in the mountains. I never used it once. Now I still had the Mavic 2 Pro at that point. I didn't have this one. The drone laws in Switzerland, from my research, have changed drastically. I could apply and go through all the necessary, measures to be able to fly. I just, A, don't know if it's worth it, and B, worth the time, I should say. And B, it's one of those things where if I didn't fly it once last time when I was in LAX, like, am I really gonna fly it this time? Now, if I do go through all the hoops and get it for this trip, maybe I'll be incentivized to fly it more. For now, I'm gonna say no. I'm definitely bringing it to Newfoundland. 24-70 G Master 2 recently upgraded when I did the A7R5 upgrade. I upgraded from the A7 IV, 7200 G Master version 2. This thing is phenomenal. It's been my go-to for sports. And what's funny is I got this first for sports and birding. This is the Sigma variable aperture, f5 to 6.3. And is this the sport version S? Does it have an S on it? Yeah, sport version S right there somewhere. There it is. I got this for sports, and then it kind of also kickstarted, or I should say reinvigorated, my birding wildlife thing, because we grew up catching crayfish, counting stars, and being in the woods, so that was just a logical conclusion. But I will say, I go to the 70 to 200 version 2 for sports way more than I go to this. However, this Sigma is such a beast with wildlife. I love it. The aperture being f5, even up to f6.3, it's fantastic with these Sony cameras. It's phenomenal. I put this on the table last time. This is the Sirui 1.33 anamorphic, 50 millimeter. I brought this to my first Switzerland trip thinking I'd be capturing anamorphic cinematic crap. This is weight. I am not bringing this, that's silly. The most important thing you could have in your kit, 2 of these bad boys, and yes, I bring 2. They're small, they can collapse and just pack really nicely. They're the best thing to have. I learned my lesson from the last couple trips. Anytime you're in the mountains, you'll get dust on your sensor, and I now bring just two of these Johns, and this is what, 10 milliliters, so this is fine, safe to travel with, the bottle of actual cleaner. But I bring it because sometimes when you're switching lenses, you'll get that like 1 or 2 pieces of dust, and if you wanna crank up the aperture a little bit, maybe to do a landscape shot, or even like long exposure stuff sometimes, I'll just the rocket air blowers won't remove all of the dust from the sensor. So I always bring 2 of these just to have them. Usually for an 8 to 10 day trip, that's more than enough. I don't need the propellers, I don't need the NDs for the drone. Moving along. Goes without saying, super important. No, but for a trip like this, I'm probably just bringing 3 batteries. I'm good with turning my camera off. This can also go into this. So these go right here, obviously with your converter for the European outlets, but I'll probably bring this too, although technically I could even ditch this. Every little bit counts. Monitor, absolutely not. I mean, just trust the autofocus. These cameras are so good now. Definitely gonna bring the variable ND, the Peter Buchanan variable ND. I wanna get the magnetized ones, but whatever. When you're in the mountains, if you get mist, if you get even snow, where we're at, you get kind of different conditions, rain. I feel like sunrise, sunset, this is where this actually does make sense. I always bring 2 of these because I tend to kind of stuff them in my pockets, just the little wipes for the lens cloth. And then for me, I know there's really good straps, but I get away with these straps. I just use that on my A7R5. Very important for me. Bulky, yes, but I'm gonna make it work. It's definitely worth it for me. I don't go anywhere without a fan. First thing I'll do, throw my laptop in, and then I do writing. I do a lot of writing, stream of consciousness writing exercises. That goes in front of the laptop. This cord's annoying me, but I don't care, whatever. First things first. This is one, again, I talked about this for wildlife, it's great. Depending on the day, there are days where I actually don't bring it out if I know it's gonna be longer hikes. I just go without it because it is heavy. But goes without saying, that's gonna go in a nice side pocket here, 70 to 200, and I'm probably gonna have to, kind of mix and match here. This is another thing I learned, like, if you have the bulky side and the bulky side lined up, it actually stretches that section. You kind of gotta, you know what I mean? Like, you want them to be opposite each other, and then it just fits better. A7R5, I usually just, as a placeholder, put it in one of these middle slots. I want it kind of snug there. Passport is gonna go on my person. It's literally gonna go on my pocket, zipped up. This always gives me trouble because I would rather this be in the middle. Actually, it doesn't really give me as much trouble with this bag. With the other Sprint, it gives me more trouble, but this is fine. I'm lying. That is actually fine. Rain cover is a definite. It takes up no room. Usually I try to like stuff that like that because it'll just fit nicely there. This thing, this little Pulson mic, I'm not worried about this as far as like if it gets banged up a little bit, so it can like, you know, kind of just sit here. So the fan is usually up top here. Oh, no, I usually do it like this. I go upside down to conserve space. Peter McKinnon and the Tiffin Pro Mist are gonna go here, and then that gives me a nice space right there to go. The drone for Switzerland is a no, but I'm gonna bring it to Newfoundland, and then that's where with the drone, I would probably do that. And then I have a case for this. It's just like a sleeve that was from like actually a lens, but that'll essentially, it should just fit right there. Boom, sticking out a little bit. But when I go to Newfoundland, those will be in there. For Switzerland, I don't think I'm gonna bring it. Again, I'm still kind of on the fence. If I do, it'll just go right there. But for now, I'll utilize the space for something else. Batteries, anything soft or in a soft case like this, I usually just put on top for now, and then if I need to like, you know, wedge crap later, I will. Fold that bad boy up, and I'll just put it right under that handle like so. This guy, usually if it can fit, I'll do it in one piece, but it's honestly just as easy. Whoa, but what am I doing with this? So we'll just throw that here for now. Again, it's kind of like a mix and match and see what works. Like, I don't like that, but I'm gonna leave it for now. I think I can make it work. Let's go this charger here. Let's go, we have this down here. Usually I'll put my chargers in one place. For now, I'm just gonna put it there. I'm gonna go back to the card reader down here. These are nice because now I can just go opposite with these, fit them in there. It'll give me a nice snug spot for my laptop battery, which a lot of times I won't even use this, or if I do, when I get through, you know, customs or whatever, then I'll just hide this in here knowing that, you know, I'm not gonna drop it or anything like that. Couple more things, we got some lens cloths here. These are odd, these kind of do bother me, but I'm gonna, you know, get into why that's actually good to have. These I'm just gonna tuck right there. Make sure this lid's on tight so nothing's spilling. I think that's gonna fit in between that quote unquote tripod head. I'm gonna keep this off to the side for now. I can flatten this and I might do that and just put it into here, but I just wanna see how everything fits. So that's it. That's the gear. Again, this is probably not coming to Switzerland, the drone. Definitely coming to Newfoundland, but that's it. But we're not done yet. There's a couple more things I'm gonna do here. I almost forgot, I usually bring one of these, the little, you know, wipe thing here. Little brush, right? So I usually stick one of those bad boys in there too. So yeah, 9 to 10 day trip. I only bring 5 days worth of clothes. Nobody cares if you wear the same thing twice. Also lucky on this trip, we have access to a washer dryer at my brother-in-law's flat and at our Airbnb. And this is where the touring drummer in me comes out, where I'm like, you can also just get in the shower with clothes and wash them in the shower with you, hang them dry. But yeah, you fill in the cracks like dessert after dinner. Keep it simple, toiletries. You're wearing an outfit and a half on the plane anyway. Everything's super simple, super tight, travel light, pack light, keep it simple. And of course, snuggly slippers on the side.